Today we're looking at Noodler's Navajo Turquoise. Hi, I'm Adam, and I'm an ink guy. I get inks, test them, and share the results with you. Now, Noodler's Navajo Turquoise is a turquoise ink. To make sure I have a range of experience with this ink, I do the writing samples. I put the ink into a different pen for a day. I then put it into a Pierre Cardin President with a medium nib to take my notes for this video. Now, before we look at the writing samples, let's look at the sciencey bits. And up first is the chromatography. And I agree with Vita that I've learned a lot by doing multiple chromatographies. The one on the left is done the way it's supposed to be done. I put a line of ink down and immediately put it in the water for 10 to 15 seconds. And what we see is this is a very pure color. This turquoise color is very nice. It pushes up. You see it very light pushing away. You see it get much darker and much darker across the top. Now, I really don't believe that much darker across the top is a different color. I just think that's where it's gathered. The one on the right, I let dry for 10 minutes before I dunk it into water. And the only difference between the two of these is we do see a much darker line where I put that ink down on the filter paper. Resistance tests are done to see how this ink can be expected to perform on the page, and more importantly, how hard it is to clean from your pens. Now, I let the smear dry for 3 days before testing it. Looking at the highlighter, the majority of it seems fine, but it's that lowercase h that got blown out that makes me worry about using this and having to highlight if I was a note taker. Now, water lifted all of the darker tones of the ink, but left that lightest tone. It left what looks like the line that was across the bottom of the second chromatography. Pen Flush did everything water and more. We're starting to see the white of the paper there. We see some of the dots from the Rhodia dot pad. Pen Flush is all that it should take to get this ink out of your pen. And bleach, as would be expected, obliterates it. Don't use a 1/3 bleach solution to get this out of your pen. For the inks I've tested, I have found an average viscosity of 2.5, with the realm of normal being from 2.1 to 2.9. Noodler's Navajo Turquoise has a viscosity of 2.7, making it normal. On the higher side of normal, but still normal. To find my average dry times, I use my writing samples done on Clairefontaine, Tomoe River, and Rhodia paper with the extra fine and medium nib. For the inks I've tested, I have found an average dry time of 17 seconds, with the realm of normal being from 13 to 21 seconds. Noodler's Navajo Turquoise has an average dry time of 20 seconds, making it, again, normal, and still the higher side of normal. Now, let's look at the writing samples. I picked this ink up in sample form, and to keep my writing samples consistent, I use a Jinhao 159 with a Goulet 1.1 stub, a Jinhao X450 with a Goulet medium, and a Jinhao X750 with a Goulet extra fine. Let's take a look at the Clairefontaine. We get no bleeding, no ghosting. The 1.1 has no feather, no spread, no halo, no sheen, no shade. A beautiful turquoise color. I don't run to turquoise colors. I like this turquoise color. It is amazing. It truly is. The extra fine, same tone as the 1.1 with no feather, spread, no halo, no sheen, no shade, 12 seconds to dry. The medium has the same tone as the extra fine and the 1.1 with no feather, spread, halo, sheen, or shade, 18 seconds to dry. The scrubbies show us no color variation. We weren't expecting it. We didn't get it. The smear test, you could probably recover it if you had to. And this is what I'm talking about when I talk about a boring ink. This is boring because it's predictable and it's beautiful. It's bold. It jumps off the page. I know what I'm going to get from this ink every time, and it's amazing. And I don't run to turquoise inks, but I'll run to this one. Tomoe River. No bleeding, tons of ghosting. The 1.1 is no feather, spread, no halo, no sheen, no shade. The extra fine has the same tone as the 1.1 with no feather, spread, halo, sheen, or shade. 21 seconds to dry. I would totally wait 21 seconds for this color. The medium has the same tone as the extra fine and the 1.1. It has no feather, spread, halo, sheen, no shade, 32 seconds to dry, and it's worth the wait because the color's that nice. The scrubby for both show us no color variation. We didn't expect it. We didn't get it in the smear test. Well, you don't get to recover that. Rhodia. Rhodia gives us no bleeding and no ghosting. The 1.1 is no feather spread, halo sheen, or shade. Gorgeous color. Just, if you don't like turquoise, give it a shot. This might change your mind. Just, wow. I like looking at it. I want to go on a run just so I can run towards it. Because this is just wow. Extra fine, no feather, spread, halo, no sheen, no shade, 15 seconds to dry. Beautiful color. Medium, same tone as the extra fine, same tone as the medium, as the 1.1. No feather, no spread, no halo, no sheen, no shade. Gorgeous color. I normally want an ink that's got some shade. I live with the fact that this one doesn't have it. 20 seconds to dry. I only got a sample. I'm glad I got a sample because it tells me buy a bottle. The scrubby for both show us no color variation. We didn't get any. The smear test, you could probably recover it if you did recover. If you did smear. Franklin Christoph paper. We got a lot of bleeding in deep into the page. It didn't touch the back of the page. It didn't come all the way through. It's you can see the spots happening. That's why I circled them. It's not going to stop you from using this. It's not the end of the world, but it is there. It doesn't really have ghosting. The 1.1, this color looks even better on Franklin Christoph paper. Even better. The tone of this paper, it makes the color even more. And it's funny because normally I see Franklin Christoph paper as a duller, it like makes inks look a little duller, a little less luster. It's not a bad thing, but it's just how it appears. It jumps. 1.1, no feather spread, halo sheen, no shade. The extra fine does look slightly lighter. Yeah, bit lighter there, huh? Couple shades lighter. Couple tones lighter, I should say. The extra fine is no feather spread, halo, no sheen, no shade, 9 seconds to dry. Now the same tone as we got with the extra fine, much lighter than we're seeing with than the 1.1. The medium has no feather spread, halo, sheen, or shade, 12 seconds to dry. Still so worth it. Scrubby for both, no color variation. We didn't get it in a smear test. Maybe. That's a maybe. Not a definite yes, not a definite no. Original Crown Mill paper. This is a laid paper. Great for correspondence. Not great for this ink. Lots of bleed spots coming through. Not bleeding. Not making the back of the page unusable. If it's a more casual correspondence, you could probably just go ahead and use it. If it's a more professional correspondence, don't use this ink on this paper. It came didn't look as good. And I think when you're making that kind of presentation, it's a nice laid paper, that kind of presentation, you want the best you can on it. This ink is not for that with this paper. No real ghosting. The 1.1, no feather spread, no halo, no sheen, no shade. The extra fine. This is where, that boring, that's beautiful. The extra fine is exactly the same tone with no feather spread, halo, sheen, or shade, 10 seconds to dry. Medium, exact same tone. Boring is beautiful because it's predictable and it's amazing. The medium has no feather spread, halo, sheen, no shade, 13 seconds to dry. The scrubby for both show us no color variation. We didn't expect it, we didn't get it in a smear test. Yeah, you could recover it. Black and red notebook. Now, this is where my camera cut out the first time I was recording this. Right at that point. And I didn't know it, and then I had to go back and film again. Black and red has no bleeding, no ghosting. The 1.1 has no feather, no spread, no halo, no sheen, no shade. Gorgeous color. The extra fine is the exact same tone with no feather, spread, halo, sheen, or shade. 6 seconds to dry. Super manageable, and this is a great color. This just gives you energy to look at it. You should wake up in the morning and look at this color on a paper instead of having coffee.
Medium, same exact tone as the extra fine and the 1.1, with no feather, no spread, no halo, no sheen, and no shade. 8 seconds to dry. The scrubby for both shows no color variation. We didn't expect it, we didn't get it. In a smear test, you could probably recover it if you smeared while you were writing. That's all that I have for this writing sample.
Instead of finding inks that look like Noodler's Navajo Turquoise, I would prefer to find an ink that complements its color on the page. I've chosen Noodler's Apache Sunset because I just really wanted to see these two together. Honestly, it's a great orange. Before I give my opinion on this ink, I would ask, if you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. And if it's your first time here, I would invite you to subscribe. So what do I think of Noodler's Navajo Turquoise? This is the kind of ink that even if you don't like turquoise inks, I think this is worth trying out as a sample. It leans enough blue that it could pass in a professional environment. I think this is a fantastic ink. Thanks for watching.